Hey guys, Novacast here, and today I'm bringing to you guys a guide on how to win more of your solo showdown game modes. So this might not be the most entertaining video, seeing that you're not going to be seeing a lot of kills out of this. You're not going to see me being too aggressive. You're going to see me being passive, but that's how you have to play if you want to win. So this tip video is mainly for people who are trying to win a lot more of their solo showdown games and don't know how to do that. So in this video I'm going to be going over how to basically win in terms of positioning, mats, looting, where you land, what you need to do, and all the small things that go behind winning. And I'm going to be teaching you how to win the majority of your games. So if you follow this guide, you're going to see your win ratio go up a lot. Obviously you can't win every single game, seeing that it is random. Fortnite is random. It's based around RNG, so sometimes the game will just kill you. But if you guys follow these tactics, you're going to see yourself winning a lot more games, seeing that this is generally what you have to do in order to win. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. So first off, the first thing I actually want to talk about is a landing location. As you can see, I already have a gold scar. Why? It's not necessarily because I landed Lonely Lodge, but it does help landing in a location that's very, very far away from the bus. My bus, I don't know if you remember, was actually going through the middle of the map. It was going through Salty and Dusty. It was going pretty much directly through the center, so I decided to go to Lonely Lodge. I would recommend if the bus is going through the center of the map, just go to the far right or far left edges. So I would have either gone to Snobby Shores or Lonely Lodge, and decided to go to Lonely Lodge. And what this allows me to do is it allows me to loot up. As you can see, I already have a gold scar, and it allows me to get a lot of mats and actually just be ready for end game. So right here, if I land far away, what it does is allow me to actually get a lot of mats, not worry about dying right away, not worry about finding a shotgun right away, and not worrying about people trying to kill me with shotguns and stuff like that. And I can actually get a good amount of shields, a good amount of materials, and just get ready for later game. So when I actually get into fights that matter, I can save myself and actually clutch out the game with a dub. So another benefit of actually landing far away is it makes it so a lot less people are in the game once you've actually finish looting the area that you've actually landed in. So once I loot out the entirety of Lonely Lodge and get a good amount of mats, get high on mats, have near around 500 mats, and just be set on terms of shields and weapons and meds and things like that. There's probably only going to be around 30 people left, seeing that you've already wasted out the entire early game. And that's what you need to do if you're trying to win more of these solo showdown games, is actually try and get into your first gunfight or first engagement as late as possible. Try and avoid as many fights as possible, because it allows you actually to get into later game and not worry about losing shields and materials and things like that, so you can actually have a better chance of winning towards the end game. Seeing that if you have 75 health with one person left and 200 health in terms of shields and health, you're obviously a lot better off when you have 200 health. So getting end game is probably the most important thing, and to do this very simply is to land far away and actually just push into the circle later on and avoid people early game. That's how you survive to end game. So right here I actually encounter someone, and I just keep the high ground and don't push them very aggressively. This is what you guys have to start doing if you're playing the solo showdown game mode. You can't be aggressive. You have to play on the defensive. Let people be aggressive. Let people push you. If people are being aggressive, then you can just play defensively, build above them, keep the high ground. It's a lot easier to make less mistakes when you're playing on the defensive. If people are playing offensively, they're going to make more mistakes, and you can actually take advantage of this if you're playing defensively. So right here, I'm just waiting for this guy to push up. I'm not actually doing anything, just waiting on top of this hill. He knows exactly where I am, seeing that I actually exposed myself, and I'm just waiting for him to make the move so it can actually kill him. And sure, I may knock down his structure just to pressure him into being a little bit more aggressive, but again, I'm not giving him a single opportunity to make a move on me, and actually spot another guy out, and he's being aggressive right here, so I play the defensive and just kill him immediately. And again, I come back over here to check on the other guy that was actually challenging me, but instead of again playing offensively, I decided to play defensive, and I just decided to loot up this other guy and actually dip in the other direction so I don't actually get into a bad engagement and I'm better off for later game. I come back to check on the guy just to see if he's still here, but I decided he's not here. So I made the smart play and actually left to farm more materials, seeing that I decided that 500 materials wasn't enough for me to win the game. Sure, it's a lot of materials, but I still need more, and it's probably smarter to leave this fight than to actually take damage from it. Another thing I actually want to premise is exactly what I did there with that tree. If you are playing solo showdown and you're actually trying to win, then you don't want to be mining down all the trees. You actually have to be very, very wary of not mining down the trees completely, seeing that if you do mine down the tree to the max, then people can see it from long ranges away and it will give away your location. You're trying to be as stealthy as possible, especially in this game mode. If you're trying to play to win, you don't want anyone to see, you don't want to actually get into that many engagements, and playing stealthy is very useful in this. And obviously knocking down the trees can actually be seen from basically across map. So leave 50 health on all the trees. Don't actually cut down all the trees all the way, seeing that it will actually just make you more stealthy in the long run. Another thing you actually want to go over is always be ready for an engagement. Even when you're playing slow, even when you're playing passive and you're not actually trying to get into fights, always be ready because someone might try and sneak up on you. Right here, someone's tried to sneak up on me. I was ready and I built immediately and just met him in the sky. But I realized the positioning that I was in, the area that I was in, this area right here in Wailing, is not a good position to get into a fight. So what I did is I just boxed myself off and played passive. Got my shields back up. I knew that this wasn't a good area. I knew that I'll have to relocate to actually win this fight, seeing that the trees had a lot of variability. I didn't want any variability in my fight. I had confidence in my skills and I knew I could win this fight, but I knew this wasn't a good area, so I just decided to play passive. And that's what I recommend you guys do. There's no shame in playing passive, especially if the sole point of this game mode is to win games. There's a not $50,000, but 50,000 V-Buck prize for this game mode. So playing passive is not a bad thing. I know if you're playing solos and people are just hiding and camping, it's not a lot of fun, but seeing that the point of this is to win, I recommend playing passive. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to challenge things you don't want to. Challenge the fights that you know you can win. So right here I relocated because I knew it would be the better position. But someone else actually pushed me. Like, this is the third person entering this fight. It's not the guy I was initially challenging. So what I decided to do was just box myself off, get my health up, and actually let the two other people here fight each other, and I would just decide to clean them up. That's what I decided here. I decided the smarter play was just to wait and clean up the remaining two people fighting each other, as it would make it so that I would win this engagement in the long run and get to later game. So just wait for them to fight, and take pot shots at them, trying to clean either of them up, or make some of them damage so that they could actually end up losing the fight. So I decided to push over to clean up, and that's exactly what I do. I locate the guy, don't give my position away, seeing that I want to be sneaky. I just want to eliminate him quickly, don't want to lose any health doing it. And I see another person engaging this person in a fight. So again, I just wait, let them fight each other, and decide to clean up the winner of this fight. So they're just fighting each other, again, just putting pot shots. They're not even looking at me at all, so this cleanup was super easy. Again, just making myself play a little bit more passive, playing in the back and cleaning up fights is what got me all this loot right here and got me set for later games. So again, guys, don't be super aggressive, especially in this game mode, seeing that playing to win is a lot better than playing to get kills, especially in this game mode, seeing the whole premise is to win. So don't waste your shields, play passive and play to win, seeing that if you play passive, you're going to get a lot greater loot and you're going to be a lot more ready for later game. So the next thing I actually decided to do here is push the next circle and take high ground in it. Taking a high ground in the circles, especially endgame, is very important. Again, as I talked about before, if you just push the circle and get high ground, and you're not actually going for fights, it may not be the most entertaining playstyle, but it's what you need to do to win. So I recommend doing this, especially in this game mode, seeing that there is a huge prize on the line. So I recommend you guys just post up in 1x1s in later game circles if you're trying to actually go for the dub, seeing that you don't have to be aggressive, you don't actually have to challenge a lot of fights as long as you're winning the game. So just sit in 1x1s, it'll make it so people will have to push you, you don't actually have to push out of your base, and if you do need to actually challenge people, you can challenge them from high ground and just stay in your base. It's a safe zone. Just rotate your ramp a couple times and wait. Wait as long as you can. Just wait till the circles to close in. Wait for the circles to close in, seeing that the later you get in the game, the more points you get for the scoreboard. So again, winning with 2 kills is better than losing with 16 kills. So just posting up and waiting isn't like a bad play. It's respectable, seeing that you're going for the win. Sure, again, it's not the most engaging, most entertaining play style, but it's what you got to do. So post up in 1x1s and just wait for the circles to close in. So right here, the next circles actually close in. I want to talk about circle positioning, but what I do is I actually decide to go right there, and I'm going to talk about this. So this position that I've actually marked right here in the next circle is the best position that I could have possibly marked in terms of playing your life. So this is where we're going to be actually talking about positioning. If you actually push the area of the next circle. So seeing that there's two circles, right? There's the larger circle and then the smaller circle. If you push this area right here, I'll put an arrow to it, and it's the area that I've marked. If you push that area right there, it makes it so that the circle, the storm, is always to your back. So you never actually have to worry about players coming up behind you, and you can always look forward. It just makes you more focused on the areas that actually matter, and you don't actually have to be anxious about people sneaking up behind you. So I decided to push that area and push the highest ground in that area, seeing that high ground is obviously the best thing that you can give yourself in terms of an advantage. So high ground and positioning is exactly what I was looking for, and I found this little hill right here and I decided to push it. So I make my way over to this area and I just decide to build a 1x1. And again, camping out is what you need to do in this game mode. So if you guys are going for dubs, don't feel ashamed in camping out. Seeing that it's what you need to do. It's respectable, seeing that you're going for a dub here, and if you're playing for a dub, then you need to play sweaty, and you have to not care about what other people think of you. And you get, again, it's not going to be the most entertaining, most fun game, but if you're going for dubs, if you're going for that big prize pool, you have to play smart, and this is just how you play smart. So again, guys, I just waited here till the circle closed in. I literally waited in this 1x1 till the circle closed in. Seeing that it's a smart play, it's how you win games. Again, it's boring, but it's what you have to do. Just positioning, putting yourself in the best position, and if you do this, you're gonna win a lot more of your games, seeing that you're gonna be putting yourself at the best position and the best advantage to actually win and close out games. So yeah, I just waited and marked the next position that I decided that I wanted to push, and I decided to push over to it. I'm just hugging the wall on the left side and actually rotating towards the next best position in the circle, that's high ground, and I'm hugging the storm to my left, just so I know no one from the left will be able to push me, and only people will be able to push me are the ones on the right, so I don't actually have to worry about anything else other than looking towards the right side. And yeah, this will make it so that I won't lose shields, I'll have a lot of mats, and I will be able to close out the end game if it does come towards that. So right here I'm just rotating towards the best position in the circle by hugging the storm to my left, and just looking towards the right, seeing that I know anyone left in the game will be towards the right or in front of me. And I actually see this huge space in probably the most high ground in the circle, so I know someone's going to be in this because that's the best position to be in, so decide that I need to take it. This is the first engagement that I've actually gotten into. This is the first aggressive engagement that I've challenged in this fight, and I need to actually challenge this engagement, otherwise I wouldn't have done it. I would have played passive, but I needed to take the high ground, so I jump headed over to him, and he was not ready for me. I was super unpredictable and I was super aggressive, and in areas where you need to be unpredictable and aggressive to gain an advantage, I recommend you do it, but if not, just play passive. So I took the high ground from this guy, gave myself the best position to win this game, and actually just took high ground again. There's only 2 people left, built a 1x1, and again, I'm just waiting because that's what you have to do. You don't have to be super aggressive, you don't have to jump around, you just have to wait in 1x1s and play the smart game, play the long game. Again, it's boring, but it's what you have to do to win. So the circle is just closed in, and I realized that I'm not in the circle, so I decide to loot the guy I killed earlier and take his jump pad, seeing I think that'd be the best smart thing to do, just in case the person sneaks up on me and I need to get away. So I feel like the jump pad's probably the most important play in this situation, and then I was going to slowly rotate my way over to the area that I marked. But then I actually hear my opponent right about now. He pushes up on me, seeing that he saw me take out the other guy. And what I did is I just got the high ground, seeing that high ground is obviously the most important thing. I've talked about this multiple times. Getting high ground is super important. And I just didn't give him an opportunity to put any damage on me, played it smart. And I just made it so I could only put damage on him and he couldn't damage me at all. And I ended up killing him. And this is actually what got me the dub. Again, there was only 4 kills, but a win is a win. And if you're going for a win, then you have to play differently. This is completely different to what, again, I would normally do if I was just playing solos. In solos, I like to be aggressive. I like to get a lot of kills. But if you're playing for a win, you have to play completely different. You have to play smart. You have to play passive. You have to play with good positioning. So that's exactly what I did. If you guys learned anything new from this video, be sure to give it a huge like and subscribe to the channel because I give a lot of tips like this. If you subscribe, what's the harm in subscribing? I'm only here to help you out, so help me out and I'll help you out. If you guys have any real questions, if you guys want to know specific things, be sure to hit up my Twitter because I respond to all questions on Twitter. If you guys hit up the comments, I may not be able to get to your response. I may not actually be able to respond to you, but if you message my Twitter, I will be able to 100% respond to you, so be sure to follow my Twitter and message me on that if you have any real questions. And yeah, if you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up, and that's pretty much it. See you guys next time. Peace out. Bye.